Hello, dear students. Very good morning to you all. Hope all of you are keeping fine and doing well. Dear students, to continue with our English literature class, today I would like to teach you the poem Dover Beach, written by our famous poet Matthew Arnold. To speak about this particular poet, Matthew Arnold, he was born in the year 1822 and he was called to his eternal life in the year 1888. He was an English poet and cultural critic whose work remains amongst the best known of the 19th century English poetry. Arnold is sometimes called the third great Victorian poet, along with Alfred Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning. Arnold was keenly aware of his place in poetry. This particular poem, The Dover Beach, written in 1867, is a dramatic monologue and presents the ethereal human feeling of sadness through the image of the sea. The poet expresses his view that the despair, hopelessness, and frustration in the world is due to the decline of religious faith. The poem is marked by an elegiac tone. Dear students, to understand it little more, first and foremost, let us understand where is this Dover Beach. Dover Beach is a real place on the southeast coast of England. So, southeast coast of England. Matthew Arnold visited this beach in the year 1851 and very accurately described about this beach in his poem Dover Beach. This is the poem we are going to learn in this class. To take your attention a little more, let us read this poem one time and try to understand the meaning of this one. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full of moon lies fair upon the straits on the French coast, the light glums and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the windows, sweet is the night air, only from the long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon-blenched land. Listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw by and fling at their return up the high strand. Begin and cease, and then again begin with tremulous cadence, slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aenean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound a thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. The sea of faith was once too at the full and round earth's shore, lay like the falls of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind down the vast edges, drearer and naked shingles of the world. O Lord, let us be true to one another, for the world, which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and fright, where ignorant armies clash by night. This is the total poem. So, in this poem, you have to understand that Matthew Arnold, looking at the Dover beach from his house window, he calls his wife or girlfriend to come and have a view of the Dover beach. The first part of the poem, it expresses about the Dover beach, the shining, bright, beautiful situation of the Dover beach. And the second part of this poem, it tells about the lack of faith that is found in the religion. He says that the poem, the world was filled with religious beliefs and faith in God. But these things are not found there. Thus, he requests or asks his friend, girlfriend, or fiancée, we don't know who exactly is, maybe wife, to come and let us be sincere in our relationship, because love is the essential or the fundamental thing that lasts forever and ever. Dear students, now after the explanation, we will again try to understand the summary of this poem. Let us understand the poem line by line. The sea is calm tonight. Looking at the sea, looking at the southeast sea, our Matthew Arnold is saying, the sea is calm tonight, very peaceful tonight. The tide is full tide is there. The moon lies fair, and the moonlight shining upon the Dover beach, that part is explained here. The tide is full, the moon lies fair upon the straits. Straits means the Gulf area. Yes, not the foreign Gulf, the inlet part of the water, that is Gulf. On the French coast, the light falls. From our Matthew Arnold is looking from the England side, and he is looking at the France side, to the France coast. How the beautiful moon glitters on the beach of France. Let us see. French coast, the light. Coast means the shore. Yes. Glums and is gone. Glums means shines and is gone. The cliffs of England stand. The cliff, the rocky area of England side, that is stand, glimmering and vast. The side of the light of French side is almost disappearing, and the total light falls on the England side, and it is widely spread. The beautiful scenery of the moonlight falling on the sea water. That is a wonderful thing, wonderful sight. Glums and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast, glimmering, shining in a vast area, out in a tranquil bay, very peaceful bay, Bay of Bengal, you know that bay, yes. So The moonlight is very elegantly shining upon the southeast coast of England or at the Dover beach. Yes. Come to the window, sweet is the night air. Thus, from here, he invites his fiancée or wife, come to the window side, because sweet is the night air. So beautiful. The things look so beautiful. So that is the reason it is called sweet is the night air. Only from the long time of spray, yes, only line of water in a sea wave. That is only thing. The long line of waves that is coming, very peacefully coming. That is the only thing. There is no other disturbance. Otherwise, let us understand in a different way. The sea is very calm and quiet, and Matthew Arnold invites his wife or fiancée to come to the window side and watch the beauty of Dover beach, which is adorned with the moonlight. Come to the window, sweet is the night air, only from the long line of spray. Long line of spray means water, where the sea meets the moon blenched land. Hard sound, yes. Moon blenched, moon filled light. Only the sea is just meeting or touching the moonlighted Dover beach. That is the only thing. Everything is very calm and quiet. Listen. You hear the grating roar, harsh sound. Grating roar means listen. You hear the grating roar. Grating roar means the beating of the tides which strike on the beach. Yes. Listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles. Pebbles means the small stones that you will find on the beach. Yes, small stones. Pebbles which the waves draw back and fling. The waves, they bring millions of pebbles in one tide and deposit on the beach or the shore. Of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling, as they return up the high strand, sandy shores. High strand means sandy shore or sandy area. So what happens? The waves bring millions of small pebbles to the shore and deposit there, and it returns back. The waves return back. As they return up the high strand, sandy shore, yes. As they return, as these waves return, they deposit pebbles, small stones upon the shore. Begin and cease and then again begin. They begin, they come, again they go, again they come and go. Begin and cease. Cease means stop, and then again begin with tremulous cadence, slow, tremulous, that is trembling or their musical sudden. In a musical form, musical way, it comes and goes with this one. With tremulous cadence, slow, that musical sound, in a musical way, rhythmic way, these waves bring the pebbles, deposit on the shore, and again it returns back. Yes, the eternal note of sadness in telling about the eternal, unending sorrow of our life. Thus, Sophocles, next stanza number 2. Sophocles, he was a Greek dramatist of 5th century. A Greek thinker, dramatist, and philosopher of 5th century. He is Sophocles. Long ago, means centuries before, heard it of Aegean Sea between, that is Greece and Asia Minor. So Aegean Sea. So heard it on the Aegean. Aegean is a sea that is between Greece and Asia Minor. That is the area. Yes. And it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow. Yes, made confused. So, hearing the sound of Aegean Sea, he could just understand the depth of the pain that is shown here. So into his mind heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb, that is muddy, confused. Turbid means muddy or confused sound and ebb and flow of human misery. Automatically, by hearing the sea sounds, Sophocles could understand the painful situation of human life, for which there was no solution of human misery. Misery means sufferings. We find also in the sound a thought. In this sound which is heard from the Dover beach, yes, the hearing it by this distant northern sea, we also feel the pain of humanity. Stanza number 3. The sea of faith. Now the situation changes. Now he makes a comparison between the present day religious belief and faith in God with the earlier one. The sea of faith was once too, the faith in God, it was too big, too wide once. At the full and round earth shore, everywhere around the world, faith in God or trust in God, that was found. But now those things are not found much. Was once too at the full and round earth, great faith in God and religion was there once. It covered, the faith in God that covered the entire world once, but that is not seen there. Lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled, an ornament of the waist, that is girdle, yes. It was just covered around the world. Faith in God was covered around the world once like a girdle, an ornament which is worn around the waist, kamar, yes. But now I only hear its melancholy. But now people don't have much faith in God. The decline of faith is there. And instead of faith, pain, sorrowful cry is there. It's melancholy, long, withdrawing roar and going back, painful going back of the sound. That is what we hear. That means no more faith in God is found in this world. Retreating means returning. Like the waves comes and retires, goes back to the sea, retreating to the beach, to the breath of the night wind, down the vast edges, drearer and naked shingles of the world. Drearer means dull or gloomy, and naked shingles, pebbles on the beach. It is just thrown like pebbles on the beach. So in this situation, he says what they are supposed to do. Oh, love, let us be true. Oh, love. Who is this love? Wife of Arnold or his fiancée or girlfriend in our ordinary case. So he says to his love, oh, love, let's be true. Let's be sincere in our love to one another. Let us be sincere to one another, because this world is full of sufferings, pain, complications, difficulties, restlessness, and so on. So in this situation, let us be faithful to each other. Oh love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams. The world before us is just like a land of dreams. So various, variety, looking differently, so beautiful, so new, really neither the world as it sees. It has really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. The world which seems so beautiful, so loving, so interesting, so new, has really no joy, no love, no light, no certitude, certainty. Certitude means certainty, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plane. Darkling plane means dark night or dark area. We are in a dark area, swept with confused moods, with the confused alarms. Alarms means warnings, yes, or struggle and flight. In this world, we are swept with confused alarms. Alarm means which is given a warning of struggle and flight, flight escape, where ignorant armies clash by night. Like two ignorant opposing armies, we fight in the total darkness without knowing whom we are hurting, whether our friends or our foes. So he is finally requesting his wife or fiancée, let's be sincere, because the world what we see is not a good world. It has no solution. Everything is complicated there. And in this world, we are in a dark place and in a dark situation, like two enemies are fighting with each other. We are fighting without really understanding to whom we are fighting or to whom we are hurting. That's a beautiful poem. So, dear students, let me tell you once again, the first part of the poem, Matthew Arnold explains about the beauty of Dover Beach. From England side, he looks at the French coast, and then he comes back to the English coast and says, so looking at this beautiful scene, he invites his wife or fiancée to come and enjoy the beauty of the night, which is brightened up with moonlight. Dear students, now I would like to give the summary of each stanza. That will be an easy thing for you to understand. Please listen. All right, please listen. Summary. The night scene at Dover. First point, when you write the summary, you have to include this point that is first, the night scene at Dover. Looking at the beach at Dover at night, through the window of his room, the poet finds the sea calm and the tide full. The moon is shining in the sky. The Strait of Dover is bathed in the moonlight. The moonlight on the distant French coast is dim, and then it soon disappears. The cliffs of England, brilliantly shining in the moonlight, extended up to the calm strait. The glimpse of the sea, look of the sea. Second point. The presence of the beloved in the room comes to be known as the poet invites his beloved to come and see the beautiful scene. The night air that blows is very pleasant. A long line of water rises up where the sea touches the land bathed in moonlight. The poet draws the attention of the beloved to the harsh sound made by the pebble as they strike against the shore. As the rising waves recede, these pebbles are thrown back on the sandy shore of the sea. The waves rise and fall in a set pattern and produce a slow, trembling kind of music. This slow music brings in the note of everlasting melancholy, melancholic sound. Allusion to Sophocles. The slow, sad music of the sea waves reminds the poet of Sophocles, a great Greek dramatist who heard the same sad music of the Aegean Sea, the sea between Greece and Asia Minor. This sad music is brought to his mind the wretchedness of human life. This inspired him to write great plays in which he dramatizes various aspects of human misery and tragedy. The poet remarks that, like Sophocles, they also find a note of human misery in the sound of the sea at Dover Beach. The sound of the sea thus gives expression to human misery that was there in Sophocles' time, and is there in their own times. The declining sea of faith. This is the second part of the poem, where you need to pay much attention to what Matthew Arnold was just telling. He just speaks about the poet says that once the sea of faith was full and it had encircled the whole earth, but now it is declining and receding as the wind of the night blows and the sea withdraws. The shore is covered with only rounded stones or bare and naked pebbles. In other words, as the faith declines, the harsh reality suggested by the naked and dreary pebbles on the beach leaves mankind sad and disillusioned. The last point, the world of confusions and uncertainties. The poet asks his beloved to be loyal to each other in an age of doubts and uncertainties. The seemingly beautiful world has neither joy nor love nor light of knowledge nor any certainty about anything. It is shorn of peace and remedy for any pain. We human beings in this dark world are like two opposing enemies fighting each other on the total darkness, not knowing with whom we are fighting, whether we are fighting and hurting our friends or our enemies. Thus, the poet brings about the confusions, doubts, and uncertainties prevailing in his time. Yes, dear students, this is what you have to pay attention to your study. Rest of the things I will be sending you another video. You can watch in that one the detailed explanation of all these things. So let me wind up. It is almost time. Hope you have understood this poem. Any clarification, as always I say, just feel free to contact me. You need to study well, alright, and this poem is very important for your coming quarterly examination also. Alright, until we meet again with another class, you take care. This is Joseph signing out from this class. Bye bye. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.